And I didn't need Beyonce and Jay-Z. And I didn't need little Bruce Springsteen and...
When it comes to Donald Trump,
it's just frightening. You know, we're living in a frightening time. The stewardship of the nation has been thrown away to somebody who doesn't have a clue as to what that means. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we have somebody who I feel doesn't have a grasp of the deep meaning of what it means to be an American.
He has a lifelong enemy in Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Bruce Springsteen.
Because the only way we're going to lose this election is if the election is rigged. Remember that. It's the only way we're going to lose this election. So we have to be very careful.
Of course, a given. Donald Trump proclaims the only way he can be victorious is through unfair practices, which are set forth mainly by Republicans in limiting who can vote and how they can vote.
The trouble at the moment is you have Donald Trump, who is talking about rigged elections. And he has a feeling he's going to lose now, which of course he is going to lose.
You're confident?
Oh yeah, he's going to lose. And he knows that. He knows he's going to lose. And he's such a flagrant, toxic narcissist that he wants to take down the entire democratic system with him if he goes. If he could reflect on these things, maybe he'd have, but he's such an unreflective person. And he simply has no sense of decency and no sense of responsibility about him. And the words that he's been using over the past several weeks really are an attack on the entire democratic process.
And is that dangerous?
Yeah, it is. I think it's very dangerous.
Springsteen, meanwhile, sees through it. The saddest part is conservatives who adore this man's songs will not pay heed to his words.
This is a man whose vision is limited to little beyond himself, who has the profound lack of decency that would allow him to prioritize his own interests and ego before American democracy itself. Somebody who'd be willing to damage our long-cherished and admired system rather than look to himself for the reasons behind his own epic failure. That's unforgivable.
He is preaching here.
We're not going to lose this except if they cheat.
Continued on election night.
We want all voting to stop.
Sparked an attempted insurrection.
We fight like hell.
As disgraceful as Trump's public words were, behind the scenes, Trump and his inner circle were using all the powers of the presidential office to cheat, not to stop the steal, but to start it.
It was an attempt to undermine the will of the people. It was profoundly anti-democratic and potentially criminal.
The 45th president of the United States tried to coerce the Department of Justice to lie on his behalf, while also strong-arming state and local election officials to overthrow the election. In the weeks following the election, Trump and his inner circle would wage a high-pressure campaign.
Hello, Francis. How are you?
Hello, Brad and Ryan and everybody.
Bill, it's Rudy Giuliani.
At least 30 contacts between Trump and Republican officials in crucial states: Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Arizona.
This is the White House operator.
Springsteen is right. The lengths Trump and his orbit go and continue to go when they know they cannot win is anti-democratic and anti-American.
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice. Build that wall. 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 Who's going to pay for the wall? 100%.
A gross figure. Trump plays into America's fragility, as Springsteen explains.
He comes along and he has a simple answer to all these very, very complex problems, and is telling some of the people, the things that they want to hear. If you're very uncomfortable by the browning of America, well, we're going to build a wall and keep all those people out. This is basically his campaign, saying it like I'm saying it here, you know. So, but if you've struggled and if you've suffered and you haven't gotten that piece of the pie, or you're just struggling to keep your family going, it can be someone saying is a very, very compelling argument. It's very difficult to deal with the complexities of governance and have someone tell you to wait or be patient. It's just a rich environment for unfortunately, for a demagogue, and the absurdity is beyond cartoon-like, you know. But he's gotten close enough so it can make you nervous. You know, I don't think he's going to win, but even him running is a great embarrassment for if you're an American.
Honestly, couldn't have said it better myself.
People like me from previous months, okay? Total control. Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. You know what that is, right?
In an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, the boss was asked what he thought of Donald Trump. Springsteen responded, "The Republic is under siege by a moron." He also said Trump's campaign is a, quote, tragedy for our democracy.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
Plenty of good people voted for Donald Trump on the basis that I've written about for 30 years, which was the deindustrialization of the United States and globalization, and the technological revolution hit many people very, 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 very hard. And some of the recovery that occurred in the United States didn't really get down to a lot of those folks. And so I think, you know, it makes you sort of the easy pickings for a demagogue, which I believe Donald Trump is.
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day. Calling out elite people in comedy should be the rule of thumb.
I think Donald Trump's hair is actually another creature.
Yeah.
The hair's like going, "Good night, Donald. Good night, Donald." There we go.
Maybe it goes out. It goes out and makes money while he's asleep.
There is something about punching down that feels taboo, and punching up is the way to go.
Crack's not really my thing, but if it was, it would be fine if I was on that side.
Wow.
Don Jr.'s on coke.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. I'm a very stable genius.
It is very important, the work that the Jordan Kleppers are doing, the work that the Good Liars are doing, the work that our team here at the Turks are doing, and many more.
What he does, he secretly puts the marker on the end of the putter, and then he looks like he's marking it, but really, now the mark is 3 feet closer. That's a way easier putt.
He cheats a lot. That if you cheat at golf, you cheat at life. The saying goes for Donald Trump.